Islam Makhachev has officially told the UFC he wants to fight at the White House. In a recent appearance, Islam revealed that he informed the promotion he'll be ready soon and made it clear that he wants to be part of that event, specifically because it would be a once-in-a-lifetime moment. For him, it's about history. He said a White House card would only happen once, and he wants his name attached to it forever. Makhachev also spoke about legacy in another way, saying that winning his first UFC belt remains the most satisfying feeling of his career. Even after capturing a second title, he admitted nothing compares to that first championship moment, calling it a breakthrough moment that validates everything. Interestingly, Islam's team has shut down the Ilia Topuria fight, so the Kamaru Usman matchup makes the most sense right now. Islam also weighed in on Anthony Joshua potentially transitioning into MMA. He praised Joshua's size and striking ability, saying the British heavyweight already has elite stand-up skills. According to Islam, if someone that big improves their wrestling, it's hard to imagine how dangerous they could become inside the cage.
If somebody wants, let's do it. I tell them I will be ready soon. If White House, of course, I want to be in White House because there may be one and only we will make the fighting in White House. I want to be in history. Now I'm already make good money, which one I enough for my family, you know. And now I have everything before it's also not coming in my dream, you know. Now I just ready, you know. I training every day, still hungry, still fighting, still want to be champion.
Joshua Van will defend his belt for the first time against Tatsuro Taira, and Manel Kape has confirmed on Twitter that Taira is officially next in line for the title shot. Kape, coming off a huge knockout win over Brandon Royval, revealed that he and his team had been pushing for a March 7th clash with Van, even cutting weight and preparing fully, but the UFC had already promised Taira the next title opportunity. The fight ultimately didn't happen due to the short turnaround, though there's still the possibility for Van versus Taira to take place at the White House event in June, which would be significant given Van is one of the few American champions in the UFC, alongside Justin Gaethje and Kayla Harrison. For Alex Pantoja, this means his path back to the belt remains intact. Once fully recovered from his recent injury, Alex will be in line to fight for the title, keeping the flyweight division stacked with multiple threats and high-stakes matchups in 2026. Fans can expect the Cannibal to step back into contention as soon as he's cleared, making the race for Van's belt even more intriguing. Who do you think will hold the belt by the end of this year? Leave your comments below. Fake news. I'm not fighting my son, Joshua Van. My team and I have been pushing for this fight since my last one. However, according to the UFC, they had already promised the title shot to Tatsuro Taira after he defeated Brandon Royval. Even knowing that, we kept pushing to make this fight happen. On March 7th, UFC told us there was a strong possibility. I was already cutting weight. By Monday, I was down to 144 pounds. In the end, the UFC decided not to move forward with the fight because of the short time. We keep moving forward, patient as always. And believe me, patience is something I've mastered. Alex Pereira just called out Ciryl Gane for the White House event. With Tom Aspinall sidelined for months, Pereira is seizing the moment, targeting an interim heavyweight title shot. The fight was leaked yesterday by the MacLife reporter Oscar Willis, confirming UFC plans to book Pereira versus Gane on the Miami card ahead of the White House event. On a recent Portuguese podcast, Pereira said the matchup makes perfect sense. A mega fight at heavyweight. He's moving up for a title, and unless UFC somehow hands him John Jones, which is very unlikely, Gane is the obvious contender. With Aspinall out and no clear return date, an interim belt showdown is the natural move, and Pereira is ready to make it happen. However, Alex is making it clear he wants it at the White House event specifically. Adding to the hype, Justin Gaethje will almost certainly be at the White House as well. As the top American star who holds the belt right now, he is likely to unify titles against Ilia Topuria on that card. This event is shaping up to be stacked with multiple championship level matchups across divisions, making it one of the most anticipated UFC cards in recent memory. Alright, let's hear what Pereira had to say.
All I want is a super fight at heavyweight. Let's make the fight with Ciryl Gane. That's the fight I want for heavyweight right now. The timing makes sense. Everything makes sense. It would be perfect at the White House against Gane. That's a mega fight right now. Something big for the fans, for the division. If I go to heavyweight, I must definitely fight for the belt. That's what I want. Unless they make me fight John Jones, which is unlikely. If the UFC wants to please me, a fight at heavyweight would really please me, you know? I respect Ciryl. He's a great striker, fast, dangerous. But after what we've seen in the division lately, let's make it happen. Let's make the heavyweight division great again. Step up, Gane. I'm ready. Let's go.
Alex Volkanovski just shut down Jean Silva's title shot and set the record straight on the featherweight picture after his dominant unanimous decision rematch win over Diego Lopes. Volk made it clear Silva isn't jumping the line. Despite his gritty UFC 324 rebound over Arnold Allen and his bold callouts, including threatening to train with Ilia Topuria to break him, the champ isn't impressed. He pointed to the real contenders, undefeated Movsar Evloev and Lerone Murphy, who will clash in the UFC London main event on March 21st. Volk sees the winner as the rightful next challenger, respecting the rankings and legacy by fighting those who've earned it. Alex gave a slight edge to Movsar, noting Murphy's elite movement could keep things competitive on the feet, but once the grappling starts, Movsar's strength will dominate. True to form, Alex is focused on beating the best and building his featherweight legacy. On a lighter note, Volk addressed the viral Lopes moment where he ended up in full mount with his backside awkwardly on Diego's face during ground and pound. He laughed it off, apologizing and clarifying he thought he was just on the chest. Punches were meant to continue the attack, not make it awkward.
Obviously a bit of talk. You got Silva, obviously just probably, trying to get his name out there. I don't know, because he's actually not a bad guy. I met him, where did I meet him? In Miami. Yeah, in Miami. And we got along well, pretty good. I thought he's a pretty nice guy. But now, and he's saying a couple of things. I don't know if he really is upset with the roofie thing. I don't know if that's an actual thing or that's just people taking that way out of context. But now he's like saying some stuff and thinking that he really deserves next. If the UFC obviously were to push that for me, everyone knows me, I'll fight anyone. But I don't think that's very likely to happen, right? Like, I don't think he'd be in a position to be able to fight for the title, especially when you've got Lerone Murphy and Movsar fighting very, very soon. So I think that's pretty clear.
Are you excited for the potential Pereira Gane fight at the White House? If Alex stays at light heavyweight, he's likely looking at a fight with someone like Carlos Ulberg. Respect to Carlos, but that's nowhere near as big as a heavyweight title fight against Gane. Moving up for an interim belt, especially on a historic White House card, is a completely different level of spotlight and legacy. Who else would you like to see featured at the White House event? Ilia Topuria versus Justin would be fireworks, and Islam Makhachev showing up would instantly raise the stakes. Are there any other big names you think deserve that spotlight? Leave your thoughts and predictions in the comments below. That's it from MMA Psycho. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for daily MMA news.